So a lot of businesses fail. A lot of them fail relatively early on in the first year, but they fail in the second, third year, and in fact they fail at any point in time. So failure is part of the entrepreneurial process. One of the biggest realizations is that failure is not what you think it is. Failure is just a natural step in the evolution of creating something big. There are two types of failures, or in fact there are probably many types of failures, but I think two are worth distinguishing here. There is the failure of the initial idea, where you thought you're doing something, you thought that you need to have a better application for buying cat food, and it turns out that that's just not that important. But in the process of doing that, you find something else, and eventually this leads you to a really promising opportunity. That is a type of failure that is just leading to you to changing your strategy. We like to call it pivoting, but you basically learn. It's just a set of experiments in which the individual experiment fails, but the process of learning continues. That type of failure is completely healthy and natural, and every entrepreneur does it. The second type of failure is that you really start a business, you make some investments, and after a certain time, actually often more than a year, 2-3 years down the road, you realize this just doesn't work and there isn't another pivot that makes sense. I have to pull the plug on this. That type of failure is more painful. There are big cultural differences about this. Doing this in the Japanese context can be terrible. Doing this in Silicon Valley is totally normal. So it depends a little bit on where you are. It also depends on how you fail. Did you fail because you envisioned a market that hasn't materialized as quickly as you thought it would? Or did you fail because everybody thinks you did all the wrong steps at all the key moments? So the latter part, that type of failure, is more painful. It needs to be sort of handled a bit more. But even that, I would say, a lot of good entrepreneurs have to go through that process, or just do go through that process. And I think there what really matters is integrity. That whatever you can say about the business with hindsight, people will say, he or she did the best she could, she retained her integrity, and that means that your career might be going off in very interesting directions.